This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Way Before the Bat. That's right, we're still here, still alive and kicking. Unlike other shows I can mention. Anyway, I am Phil. Joining me as always, that mournful Superman fan over there.
I am here. It is me, Tyler. I guess I am. If you're Alfred, who would that make me?
Segel.
Okay, I like it. I'll go with it.
Right.
I'll be Siegel.
Right.
We both talk like Englishmen.
Yeah. Kryptonian in their accent.
They do have some interesting accents.
I mean, not to swerve too far from Pennyworth, but I think I saw I didn't look too closely, but I swear I saw a headline today that said, I guess Sci-Fi was complaining that they canceled Krypton because it was too expensive.
I mean, it looks like an expensive show.
Yeah, I just wonder if they were just like, it wasn't worth it for whatever ratings it was getting.
So I mean, probably. I mean,
well, they probably
that's
put so much money into it, previously because they retold the whole thing.
And that's like what I've said to some people online. Like, yeah, I didn't check it out. I'm like, yeah, but the thing was, it was supposed to be this one show that was announced. Remember when it was announced, Phil?
Yeah.
Shortly after Gotham was announced.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are, 5 years later, and it's in season 2.
Yep.
Took them. We used to make jokes on Krypton Report when the show started because we started it to be kind of like we're going to talk about Krypton and we're going to talk about Supergirl. And we made jokes because we'd have all this news about Supergirl starting, and then we'd be like, and nothing about Krypton. And then it was like here, there, then the trailer got pulled down, and they pushed it out. So, I mean, the first season is off balance, but the second season was like they had their objective and knew what they're going to do.
Why don't they just do a Superman show? I mean, yeah, you're still going to have to pay a bunch of big special effects, but I mean, with Krypton, you have to build like a whole planet, like a whole
planet. I just wonder if it's all tied up in some sort of like the TV thing. Yeah. Like, there's more stuff that's come out over the years about like Lois on Smallville. She was only supposed to be like in 4 episodes because of Superman Returns coming out, and just like the way they kind of like, there's a really cool video essay about the Joker and Jeremiah from Gotham and how they got away with stuff and why they did what they did, and just to dance around the legal stuff, And I feel like that's the same thing with Superman. Like, they only gave a couple episodes to be on Supergirl, and now a little bit more. And I mean, like, but then it's weird because then, like, with Batman, like, we had Gotham, we had Batman appear on Gotham. And then we got like the Shadow Batman on Titans, and then supposedly we might get a like shot of Batman on Batwoman. So who knows? I mean,
I think they cast a Batman for season 2 of Titans, which is coming soon.
They cast a Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
They've yet to say if he'll actually be Batman. So we'll see.
Anyway, we're here to talk episode 5 of Pennyworth. I keep on calling Alfred Pennyworth. Shirley,
Alfred would be cool.
Shirley Bassey, which we were talking before. It's like, why did they name it this? But I mean, because I looked it up.
She's a singer.
Yes, Dame Shirley Veronica Bassey, DBE, is a Welsh singer whose career began in the mid-1950s. Best known both for her powerful voice and for recording the theme songs to the James Bond films Goldfinger, Diamonds Are Forever, and Moonraker.
Okay, I mean, that's cool. I don't know. Maybe I just missed the connection. I don't know. It just kind of feels like.
I mean, are they trying to make some kind of connection to James Bond and Alfred?
I mean, I don't know. It was kind of what I always felt like. This show was a little bit inspired by like a very Bond style. So I don't know, but just like last week, it was like Lady Penelope, but yet nobody in it was named. So I don't know. Maybe it's just too what do you call it? It's too over our heads, Phil. We're not classy enough to get it.
I wonder. Oh, I didn't look it up. I wonder if Shirley Bassey, if there's any Shirley Bassey music in the episode. Which again, but still, why would you name it that?
And like I knew that I heard that name, but I didn't look it up. I was like, because I literally just watched this episode like 30 minutes ago. Like after because Janine was watching it with me, I wanted to make sure we were still going to record. I was like, okay, I'm going to finish this, and we did. And then I was like, all right.
Oh, I just looked up Lady Penelope, and it came up. Lady Penelope Crichton Ward is a fictional character introduced in the British mid-1960s Super Marionthon television series Thunderbirds.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, do we have the title for next week's episode yet?
We should. I mean, I would. Here, let me check my handy dandy tea time app.
I know. I'm like.
I mean,
I'm kind of curious.
I mean, it's only 10 episodes. We're already halfway there, so they should have titles.
Right. It is weird that we're halfway there. Right. So we have Pilot, the landlord's daughter, and then we have Cecilia Black.
I do have titles.
Okay, so now they're all female names.
Celia Black, Jolie Christie. Episode 8 is Sandy Shaw. Episode
Alma Coogan.
Yeah, and then Marianne
Faith. It all started with Martha Kane as a name.
Oh yeah.
So,
well, I mean, it's not a name, but technically, you could say the landlord's daughter is a female.
It is. So the pilot, which every show, like first episode's pilot. So
yeah. Well, women can be pilots too.
So, haha, Phil.
So yeah, so only 5 more episodes this season.
Yeah, it's kind of. I feel like this episode was kind of like a not a reboot, but like definitely turned the show in a different direction.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say it looks like they're taking a week off after episode 6, but that's Labor Day weekend, so they must be taking that week off.
So, what did you think about this episode?
I mean, it started off predictably enough. You know, Alfred was going to be in mourning, and
okay, so Alfred sees basically the ghost of people. So
yeah, like
he sees his friend Spanish.
Yeah.
Then he sees the woman he accidentally killed. Makes me wonder: did he accidentally kill Spanish, or did he have to kill Spanish?
Or he's blaming himself for his death for some reason.
Right. Why he sees him, you know, and I wonder that just because then he saw the woman he actually killed in the tea shop.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, maybe Spanish, maybe he was just like, I wasn't watching his back. If I would, he wouldn't have got shot or whatever.
Exactly. So we get that, and we get a nice little story with the Ripper.
Yep.
Who, starts taking Alfred on a run, basically getting him back on his feet, and helps Alfred see that whoever killed her had something against him.
Oh, yeah.
And don't want to jump to the end, but I'm thinking the Ripper killed her, or someone in the Ripper's gang.
Maybe, because
to get Alfred where they wanted him.
Yeah, but I mean, Ripper shows up with those running shoes, and I think he said something like, "Oh, he used to run with his buddy Norris." I was like, "Who, Chuck?"
Yeah. Yes, Chuck's been around forever, so yeah.
Chuck defies time and space.
He does. Chuck Norrisaurus
still getting the Ripper, so I wonder, if Alfred's gonna have to take him down eventually.
I would say yeah. Because of where things go, we get to see a little bit of Martha Kane.
Oh yeah,
interact with Thomas Wayne. Thomas Wayne's pretty dickish.
I mean, I don't think you knew they were kind of working for whoever before, but I think was this the first episode where they actually called it out that like they're working for the CIA?
Well, Thomas is working for the CIA.
Yeah, but
I kind of think that Martha.
Yeah,
I'm kind of thinking that she might not know. Like she's being, like, cause it seems like it's just a bunch of like they're playing each other.
Yeah.
Because you find out he's a plant because we meet the leader of the No Name League, and we see that there's threat. The No Name League and the Raven Society are fighting each other. And it's just a bunch of street people. Like, it's really weird because at one moment it's like you feel like they're these very vast, organized groups, and another minute you just feel like they're a bunch of people like in a club.
Well, I mean, it could be both because I mean, you always want somebody you can always write off and can't be connected to you.
True. I mean, and then we do get to see once again like the Queen and the Prime Minister, which I'm not sure whose side the Prime Minister is really on. Like I know he's not on the Queen's side, but I mean, as far as the others, I don't know who he's aligned with.
Yeah. Oh, but everybody shows up for Esme's funeral. Beth and even Martha. Martha's all upset. Probably she was making out with Alfred. Right before Esme was killed.
Because that's what Alfred says. He says, he was like, "It's my fault. I was with another woman." And Spanish says, "Oh, every man can't turn down a good plunge." So, and we see Alfred struggling with it. It's interesting because we definitely see a decline in Baz and Dave Boy. Like, because I didn't see how many months, but it says blank months later. So there is a time jump in this episode.
I missed that too.
It was after the funeral and stuff, and it says blank months later, and then we get the scene of like the Raven Society people fighting the No Name League.
Oh yeah,
and because then we see Dave Boy and Baz still working, but like Baz is now doing drugs.
Yeah,
Dave Boy don't care what he does,
and Alfred's just like he's about ready to die. His father's like shaving him and telling him to eat and
Yeah, his father's taking care of him, telling him to eat, and Alfred's having a psychotic breakdown.
Oh yes, yeah, that's what you see in Spanish and stuff. Yeah,
and the Ripper helps get him on. He says he owes him a favor, and Alfred's like, "Yeah, basically I'll do it. Whatever. Like I do owe you a favor." We find out that the No Name League leaders want Thomas Wayne to set up the murder of the leader of the Raven Society, which is very weird because we would have thought before, like they would have done that when they had Martha just find out the name.
Yeah,
but I guess British people don't act like Americans,
or they wanted to see where everything was going. But even like Thomas's CIA contact basically doesn't he tell him, he's like, yeah, we'd rather the Ravens get taken out than the No Name League.
Yeah. So they arrange this dinner between the leader of the Raven Society and the leader of the No Name League, and it's basically a very awkwardly done. And I mean awkwardly in the sense of just how the two leaders are talking to each other. We have the doctor and we have the leaders of the No Name League just sitting there casually talking to each other. And we find out that Thomas Wayne basically hired Dave Boy to kill the leader of the Ravens, but he can't do it if her eyes are open looking at him.
But then she like shoots him and then like is like saving him.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. She's a very conundrum of a character.
And did I mishear, or did they call her Gordon?
Call her what?
Gordon.
I thought it was start with a G. It's like Lady Godley or God.
Oh, I don't know, but I thought I heard Gordon. So, but I mean, maybe that was just. But I was like, no, don't do.
Yeah, don't tie it in that tightly. And that's one thing I've actually really liked is they haven't tried to tie everything in. Like they've let it breathe.
Yeah, because that's the other. I mean, that was
Frances Gaunt.
Who is it?
Her name is Frances Gaunt.
Okay, good. It's not Gordon. Okay, maybe it's just the accent throwing me. But no, I like that they're not like have to tie DC into this every 2 seconds, because I think if there was a weak point to Gotham and even the like Krypton, it's like, oh, we got to,
Yeah, we gotta tie in stuff that makes stuff fit. So Dave Boy, gets shot in the stomach, and then she tries to help him, But then Alfred pops out with a mask over his head because the Ripper set him in there to kill the leader of the No Names, blows his head off.
Oh my lord! And you see it. I mean, all you see is like the bottom teeth left
From a sawed-off shotgun he borrowed from the barkeep that
Heck
he
yeah.
smoked.
Oh, that's a great scene when he picks up Dave Boy and like he shoots the one guy with his sawed off on the steps, and then another guy's coming down the steps. He turns around so Dave Boy can shoot him while he's still holding him.
But it's just a cluster. Excuse me. But it's trippy because then you have Alfred take Dave Boy back to the bar, and basically they call in a doctor, and Dave Boy's laying there. Alfred's talking to, I can't remember her name, the barkeep's daughter.
Oh yes, talking to her.
Yeah, he was talking to her.
Oh, he talked to her. Bring that, buddy.
And then he took a plunge.
Yes, he did.
Dave Boy's dying on the table. Alfred's in the back taking a plunge with the bartender's daughter.
I guess you could say, once he got back in the swing of things with the action and everything, he wanted to live again.
Yeah, he did. And that was I was like, wow. I mean, he's not really doing anything wrong unless he's just using her, which that's Alfred. Don't be like that.
Oh, but Sandra, the barmaid.
Okay.
Sandra. Yeah.
I know it started with an S. I just couldn't remember. I actually have to watch this show sometimes I watch it with the subtitles on, or not subtitles, but like the caption, because they speak such English that sometimes I miss some of the things they say.
Well, I usually have to leave a page or something open because I can't remember half these names.
Yeah, that's another thing because they talk. But so that happens. So that sets up that we got the leader of the No Name League is dead. His wife's taking over, but then you find out his wife is sleeping with the Ripper, and that he helped orchestrate it. So makes you wonder if A, the Ripper, like I said, killed Esme, so they could get Alfred in the place where they wanted him, and B, was the Ripper actually helping Alfred, or he just wanted to use him for this.
I probably wanted to use them, and I wonder if the Ripper is like trying to take, eventually wants to take control of both the No Name League and the Ravens, maybe.
Very interesting.
Or at least eliminate one side and take control of the other. So
that's the main story, and then we get the Lord Harwood stuff, which is just weird.
My Lord. Yeah, Bet picks up old no-nose Harwood on the street.
I paid attention. Like his nose in the beginning looked like they just put black paint on his nose and shadowed it to make it look like it was gone. But then later, like it's a full-on prosthetic when he's at the dinner table.
Oh yeah, because it's a hole. It looks like a hole.
Yeah, and then they chopped off his feet. Like I forgot they chopped off part of his feet and everything. And I was like, this is like the part I had to explain to my wife. Like this is the weird part. Like this is where the show feels like Gotham, in that like there's just some odd, weird stuff. Like the old man in his leather underwear and the old lady. And I'm like, I don't know, Jania. These people are weird.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was just like, ugh.
And then the awkward conversation / scene between Thomas Wayne, Dave Boy, and Paz, where they're sitting there with the tassel dancers right behind them.
Oh, that's right. No nipple this time, all tassels. I think
it was just awkward. They're just dancing and they're just sitting there trying to talk about killing somebody, and I'm like, but it is interesting because
there was one scene, I forget. I think it was later on. Like I think it's when Alfred comes into the club. If you look over to the one side, there's a guy in a booth. Yeah, the girl's just like,
"Yep." I had to point that out. She was like, "Wow."
I was like, "Wow, that guy's enjoying." Wow. She's nodding yes very, very vigorously in public.
And she must be praying.
Doing her impression of a chicken eating.
But what I think, like if you listen to the dialogue as he says, like the establishment's gone downhill.
Oh yeah.
And I think, Baz, like it's all in that part of the establishment that it looks like it's lost its class. They say hard times. It's now becoming basically more just
like a
strip
brothel
club.
almost.
Yeah. And, like he says, Bass is doing cocaine in the back.
Well, yeah, because Alfred's been gone. He hasn't been there to keep the riffraff out. Yeah, and Baz is doing drugs, and Dave Boy's probably taking jobs, so he's probably not there half the time.
So it's definitely just, it shows like the decline of that and what Alfred meant to that place and his friends. So it's very interesting. I mean, I'm liking the show because at any point you can just kind of stop and be like, oh, that's where that started. And then you have the idea of like, okay, they eventually get back together. I would like to see more camaraderie between like Alfred, Martha, and Thomas, like really start to form that bond. We got 5 episodes left and we don't know if there's a season 2 or anything. So I'd like to at least have a feeling of that bond started. Because I don't want to get, cliffhanger upon cliffhanger with like a triple cliffhanger and then the show gets canceled. I'm looking at you, Krypton.
Yeah, I wonder what the ratings are, because I wonder if because a lot of people have to pay like extra for Epics. I wonder if they've been pulling the people in or.
Right. Like, and I work for Spectrum and people like that channel. It's been weird. Like, I've never really thought much of it, but people have said they like that channel and that, they have to pay for it in different packages. So I wonder, because it's a very cinematic show.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder like what the budget and stuff is on it.
I mean, yeah, it is shot very beautifully, but it's like, again, you really don't need a lot of special effects, aside from like gunfire. Yeah.
But just like you said, it's shot, the structure, the acting, it's all top notch. The lighting is very
it's kind of cinematic. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why it can't be cheap, but I don't know. I'm wondering because I don't want to end this show if it's only one season, feeling like, oh, there's so much more. I at least want to have some sort of sense of this relationship built between Thomas, Alfred, and Martha.
Yeah.
With some nods to the future, because I'm really, really hurt by the end of Krypton, where they just left me with 3 different cliffhangers.
I know, that's what I was wondering. I was going to say, I mean, would Sci-Fi or somebody at least give them a 2-hour movie or something to wrap stuff up?
See, I would love a 2-hour movie. They do just kind of they did with Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah. Firefly.
Well, Firefly didn't. It got an actual movie through Universal.
Yeah.
When Fox had that, but Battlestar, they did movies alongside of the series, and something like that just to kind of wrap up the story, because no spoilers, but there's some serious cliffhangers and stuff that were led into there. So
that's what I'm saying. That I saw that article today. They were saying that Krypton was way expensive. I was going to say, at least Pennyworth, they're shooting it good, but at least it's all most of it's practical stuff. All you need is gunfire and bullet, blood, and
the sets are pretty simple. Alfred's house, the pub, club, and then you need a big room, and then you can redress the room to whatever you need. So I don't know, but
I mean, you have to make it look old, but again, it's it's a period piece. There's no cell phones and no computers and stuff.
This is all very true. So, and then, okay, so Janine and I were watching, I was talking, I was like, they never say the date, they keep it vague, and we know that's been a thing of the show. But when they're talking about 1,000 pounds, I'm like, that's not that much the way they're talking, even if I think I looked up 1,000 pounds, in British money, now is $1,200, I think. So $1,200 back then, what would $1,200 be in US today? So I don't know. Just kind of trying to give an idea,
Yeah. I don't know.
Because I'm it just the way they talk sometimes. I always tell Gina I like in shows where they don't talk figures. So
yeah. I mean, again, you can always say it's like an alternate. It's an alternate timeline, or again, they keep it vague on the year. So yeah. Yeah, very weird. Again, I think if we said this last week too, there wasn't like a lot that happened, but it was like a lot of it was just like Alfred getting out of his funk. Because it was very weird. Because started out, we got a lot of that bet stuff at the beginning with Lord Harwood and stuff, and then
so $12,000 in 1965 is kind of where I was shooting at, even though it's not an exact time. We were worth roughly $93,000. So I mean, that's significant, I guess. But I don't know. It's just they talk like it's a lot of money, and I'm like, okay, is it? But I mean, yeah, a lot happened, but it was like building and placing the pieces. But I really felt like I really don't care about the Harwood story. Like, it's just kind of weird, and I don't care what happens. So
yeah, but it was nice that Alfred's dad was actually taking care of him. I thought he was gonna like yell at him, and be like,
I love that because I think. I think Esme melted him. Like, she got to him.
Oh, you could tell, yeah, because you said they did that time jump, and he was basically he was ready to die too.
And I like that. He had grown to care for her, and then she's just gone.
And didn't Beth say she saw who killed her, and it was like a man and a woman or something?
She was talking like that, and I was kind of hoping that maybe Bet's going to track down the killer too. Like,
I just didn't know if someone was going to like try to convince Alfred it was like the Thomas and Martha at some point or something.
I'm intrigued to see if like maybe Bet discovers it's the Ripper, and Alfred's like, no, it can't be. It wouldn't be, and then he has to go against him or something.
Oh yeah, it could be the Ripper and the former leader's wife. Yeah. Well, they said whoever it was took her ring too.
Yeah, I mean, of course they're going to make it look like a burglary. That's the greatest cover up. You bust in the door. Like, first, I watch a lot of TV, people. Okay, first you get in like the person did with keys, because they said something about having keys. You murder the person, then you go out. You break down the door, so it looks like you have a breaking and entering, and then you knock some stuff over, you take some things, so it just looks like a robbery gone wrong. Okay, all you have to do is watch some CSI.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Alfred was just so overtaken by grief, like he didn't put the pieces in his mind that someone would want to kill her to get to him.
But I'm trying to remember too, is like when the Ripper was playing with his dead bodies when we first see him, was he taking stuff off the body? Because I was gonna say, could he maybe have taken the ring as like a sick
maybe like a trophy? Like he has it somewhere. It's possible. We got an interesting dialogue scene between the Ripper and Alfred, where he talks about who hates you. And Alfred, he's even asking around, like, who hate me? Who would hate me?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, oh, nobody. So it just kind of makes you think, like, who would hate Alfred? And maybe it is the Ripper.
I mean, he could still hold a grudge for, driving his nephew out of town.
Exactly.
Even though the nephew was ready to, turn on him, but still.
That's what I'm intrigued by.
Yeah. Or unless it's like the Ripper's sister or whatever,
Oh, the mother?
Yeah.
I mean, it would make sense. So, but I'm intrigued. Like, I'm in till, I'm going to finish out the season because even it's interesting that it's just it's just comic booky enough, like with enough DC stuff to be like, oh, okay, cool, and just enough not for me to like, do I need to know this person? What is this? Who is this? So, and like it's even if it wasn't Alfred Pennyworth, it's an enjoyable show on its own.
Oh yeah,
just as like a alternate timeline, spy-esque kind of mystery thriller, especially like British show. Like I was gonna recommend it to my mom, and then it got like a little more graphic and stuff, and I was like, nope, not going to, because then my mom will probably hate it, and then it'll ruin my enjoyment. So,
no.
But that happens sometimes. Mom, if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
Mama, didn't mean to make you cry.
I got texting him like, "What you talking about, son?" Be like, "Uh oh."
Your mom likes Mr. T.
Yeah.
All right. So, if you had to give this episode a grade, what would you give it?
On a 10-point scale?
Yeah, or a letter grade, whatever you want to do.
I was like using IMDb 10 points because I feel like you have
more room. Yeah.
Fluctual, like I hate when it's just like a 4-star or a 3. Because then everything comes down to like or a 5-star. It just comes down to like being 3s. And I'm like, this one, I don't know. I'd do like a 7.5.
Yeah.
To an 8. Because like it was good, but I felt like most of it was
a lot of it. Yeah, we had to wait for L for it to get going. So
yeah, like it was like we had, for a show we're only 5 episodes in. That's like a big like mid-season. I mean that if you were in another show where you have like 22 episodes, you've already got half your season to get to know this character for that kind of an arc. But I felt like this one was almost, like I said, not a reboot, but like it redefined the series because it like changed. It's no more like Alfred trying to work for the government and keep, because I kind of expected a few more episodes of like him working for Martha and maybe even Esme getting jealous or finding out he's working for a woman. And then, that kind of thing. But no, they just killed her.
I figured Esme was going to die. I just didn't think this soon.
Right. We knew she was going to die. Like, that was given. Like, but we just didn't know when. So I just kind of thought it would
I didn't
go
even
on
know
a
it was
little
going to be in
longer.
the first season. But yeah, it was like episode 4.
And I'm like, and that's why I say, like, if they're going to do that and that kind of a pacing where they're not going to hold things back, I really would like to see some speed up the pacing with the relationship of Alfred and the Waynes, or Alfred, Martha, and Thomas. Like, that way, if this is where it ends, I feel like I got my satisfying like story.
Yeah, but I wonder if like Krypton was like doing cliffhangers, so they're like, oh yeah, they're not going to cancel us, because they're going to, people are going to want to see how this ends. And sci-fi,
but like I said, like if I've been rewatching, and I brought this up before, like I've been rewatching The Flash since I started season 1, and I've already burned through season 1, 2, and I'm halfway through season 3. If you would have canceled The Flash after season 1, it leaves on a cliffhanger, but you really feel like you got the Flash because you got so many of his great villains, you got so many great stories, and then you conclude with the great arc of the Reverse Flash that if that was the only season, you could have walked away satisfied. You would have wanted
season
more.
1 too. I mean, it ended with that vortex. You could have just, just basically him running up. You could have been like, oh well, he closed the vortex.
Yeah, as I'm saying, like it ends where you want more, but it ends with the idea of you have a full story and you find you could leave satisfied.
I mean, I don't know.
Unlike Swamp Thing.
I don't know if it was that way in season 1, but I mean, eventually, the Flash came to become, I think it's like the biggest rated thing on the CW.
Yeah, I mean, I think it had the biggest premiere the CW's ever had.
Yeah, I think so.
And rewatching it's just renewed my love for the show. That's another story.
Oh yeah, can't wait for Crisis.
Yes.
Probably gonna get your Supergirl. Everyone's probably gonna be on the same Earth.
Oh, dude, that's the smartest thing for them to do. Would be to put it on one Earth if you're gonna do a Crisis event, because there's a lot more stories you can like deal with having one Earth just to kind of shake it up and like put vigor in all the series.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the big cliffhanger because I mean, they're doing like 3 episodes before the holidays, and then when they come back, they're doing the last 2. So it's probably going to be like it's like the whole multiverse gets destroyed. Then when they come back, it's going to be like, oh, everyone's on one Earth.
And then my thought is like there's going to be like these mini arcs before Crisis that'll get wrapped up, and then we'll get like basically a soft reboot of the shows and series after Crisis.
I think I saw somewhere they were saying I think Crisis is going to affect the Flash almost the whole season. So
yeah. I mean that's where it's starting from, and then there's one episode of Arrow or something after Crisis.
Maybe probably to wrap it. Probably just be the final episode.
And then
they probably just want the final episode to be in the middle of the crossover.
Right. I think Batwoman I read is like the building up to Crisis. All the episodes of Batwoman's kind of like the prequel to the episode we met her in Elseworlds. Maybe. And then her Crisis episode is like the first time we're in like the current time.
That's interesting.
I read that somewhere. I got to find that.
Sunday nights it's Batwoman followed by Supergirl, which poor Supergirl. Eventually, she's going to be up against like Walking Dead and Sunday Night Football and stuff.
Yeah, well, for real. But that's our predictions. I'm curious to see how Crisis affects Black Lightning. Now that they said that he's going to be part of it, where does that put him?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's going to be part of it, but his show's not supposed to be part of it. So, what does that mean? But I feel like, what do you call it? We should have a special episode, Phil, where we just talk Crisis before everything starts in October. Predictions, thoughts, hopes, dreams that probably won't happen.
Well, I know. I think last year we did that. I mean, I'll talk to Lil. I think last year, I think we talked. Well, we've been doing the Arrowverse stuff more and more, but at least got to do something for maybe the premieres and stuff.
Because like we've had a conversation about how what I think is going to happen in Crisis doesn't necessarily mean what I want to happen. Like, because every time I bring it up, my co-host James is always mad. And I'm like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that's what I want to happen. I just think that's what they would do.
Yeah.
But I just want to see one shot of like all these people like looking at a red sky. And I'm just saying, screw it. Just get like 2 seconds of Cameron Cuff looking at a red sky. Get me Ben McKenzie looking at a red sky.
I was going to say, we're going to get Penny, or we're going to get Alfred looking at the red sky.
That's what I'm saying. Get Alfred looking up at a red sky. Think fifth dimensionally is touching all time and space. Get Swamp Thing looking at the red sky. Just throw it all in together. Because okay, Phil, I'm gonna pick your brain for a quick second, then we can end this. Out of all the current live action DC shows, if I'm not mistaken, we haven't had a repeat of a hero yet, have we?
I don't think.
Villains, we've seen multiple villains. Especially now, like with Titans and all them, like they're redoing villains that, like Deathstroke, for example. But we've never seen a hero repeat yet.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I can't think of any.
Unless you want to say Cyborg, because he was on Smallville and then he was in Doom Patrol.
Well, Smallville don't count. That's
I never thought you'd say that.
Well, Smallville's the best, but I'm just saying, like, since Arrow, when all these things started, Smallville don't count. Because part of in my brain back here, I kind of have the old '90s Flash and Smallville on the same Earth.
Yeah.
Since we actually never got Barry Allen, but we got Bart.
Yeah.
So that's my headcanon. That's just my headcanon. So I was just thinking that the other day when we were talking about why not have Kid Flash on, Titans, and I'm like, and then we were talking, I was like, I don't think they've ever repeated a hero yet.
Yeah,
so
Superboy on Titans.
Yeah, and he's not been on anything else. But all right, that was my last pick of your brain.
I mean, we might get two versions of Superboy. You might get Connor on Titans, and then
and John on Supergirl, which I really hope they do. So
they could make him Brandon Routh's son, since he's going to be Kingdom Come Superman.
No, don't.
Yeah, but it's like Lois was just pregnant last season, so it's like you can't have they can't have a 10-year-old already.
Phil, we're talking about a show with a talking gorilla and shark. There's time paradoxes, there's black holes, there's crisis, and there's Kryptonian science. Okay?
I know.
For all we know, she could give birth to him, and then his human cells and his Kryptonian cells on Argo City, once he hits Earth, he causes him to rapidly grow. Okay?
I know.
I can write it. Okay?
All right. So we done?
Yeah, we done.
All right. And speaking of crisis, Lilith and I just did a 3-part crisis special on Comic Capers over on Capes and Lunatics, and the rest of
which is great for anybody out there, like just to check out, to catch up, just to kind of have your comic background of what's going on before the crisis, just if you want to know what that story was.
And the rest of the year, we're going to be doing some Flash and Supergirl, Batwoman, and Green Arrow episodes, like comic book wise. So check all those out. Get up there before the crossover. All right, so send your thoughts on Pennyworth, because I know. I mean, you're here for the rest of the season, right?
Yep.
All right, so we're going to be doing this. 5 more weeks? Like I said, it looks like on the schedule, it looks like they're skipping Labor Day weekend, but besides that, they're going straight on till the end. So send us your thoughts, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/capesandlunatics, @capeslunatics on Twitter. Follow Capes and Lunatics on Instagram. Check out Work in Progress, capesandlunatics.org. Subscribe to the Capes and Lunatics YouTube, our weekly newsletter, capesandlunatics.home.blog. Call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And watch us live on our Facebook, our Twitter, and at getvokl.com. And Tyler Patrick, where can people get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Gmail at JTYPatrick. I'm also the host of the Krypton Report podcast. As you heard us talking, we talk about Krypton, but not for much longer, and Supergirl and anything Superman related.
I was going to say, send those flowers to Krypton Report.
Oh, man, I'm bummed.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
Who knows? Someone else could always pick it up. Maybe, but come on, DC Universe.
I mean, it would be cool if someone just picked it up for like you said, like a 2-hour movie or something, just to kind of wrap it all up, like the first DC Universe. Like, I think it'd be cool if they did like DC Universe movie specials, like the DC Universe movie original or something.
Yeah. Although I just saw, I don't know if it was a trailer or something for that part of the animated series coming up.
Yeah.
Kids can't be watching that.
If what?
The kids can't be watching that. There's a lot of language.
That's why I'm really hoping that Stargirl is going to be a family show.
I think it probably will be, but I don't know. I thought I saw something about it being delayed or something. I don't know.
Well, like, I don't know. Did you get the email from DC Universe about like a survey and like give them your feedback?
I don't think I have to double check my email.
It said like help DC Universe, and like I did it. And one thing I talked about was like, I'm enjoying the original content, but I really like you to start making original content for families and kids, because